sixth seal, the great earthquake, the sun becoming dark, the moon becoming blood, the stars of heaven falling to the earth. That's what we're going to be talking about in this video.
Today is April 5th, 2024, 3:16 p.m.
You're going to see how everything goes hand in hand.
This video that's going to be playing on the right-hand side was on May 3rd, 2022. Video on the left-hand side is today, April 5th.
An earthquake right down the middle. On April 4th.
Yeah, Lucy, definitely a chaotic past half an hour as all of us, media included, city council members included, are just trying to figure out what exactly is going on, how to proceed. Definitely, I think as a lot of native East Coasters, people who grew up in the Northeast, were not really accustomed to earthquakes or the typical protocol. So I know myself and several council members were inside on the fourth floor waiting for a hearing to start. I personally didn't feel it, but many of the council members that I spoke to, they did feel a little bit of a shaking. Fourth floor, I guess it's not super high up, but we are in a relatively tall building. But shortly after all of the initial reports and tweets started to come in on X, we got an announcement over the loudspeaker in the hearing room that we were all to evacuate City Hall just as an extra safety precaution. And we were told that people who were asking if the hearing was going to go on, if business was going to continue as normal today in City Hall, they were told that they were just going to have to wait and see, sit tight. Definitely, again, not something that we were accustomed to. They were saying the hearing may continue once we're given the all clear. So once everyone was outside the building here in City Hall, we were just told to take several steps back away from the physical building. We were outside for probably, I would say, 15, 20-ish minutes, and everyone was just let back in. So definitely more confusion than fear is the general emotion around here. I know I experienced several earthquakes when I was living out in California, and again, for folks out west, this may be commonplace, but for East Coasters, again, this is not something that I don't think any of us had on our bingo card for 2024 or really ever living in Philadelphia.
No, not at all. You're absolutely right. All right, Karen Hua, thank you so much as she goes back to business, back to our assignments here for the day, and clearly staying on top of this as well. Let's get to this. We were literally on the phone, and you said, oh, my God, Lucy, there's an earthquake. Insane. Tell me what's happening. My colleague and friend, Deanna Durante, my goodness, we were literally on the phone, and you said, oh, my God, Lucy, there's an earthquake.
Oh my God, Lucy.
My goodness, you were literally on the phone and you said, oh my God, Lucy, there's an earthquake. God, Lucy, there's an God, Lucy, God, Lucy, there's God, Lucy. My goodness, you were literally on the phone and you said, oh my God, Lucy, there's an on the phone and you said, oh my God, Lucy, there's an earthquake.
2 years later.
Insane. And tell me what it's like in Flowertown.
Yeah, we went into not so much news reporter mode when I'm like, wait a minute, I think things are shaking.
Right.
You know, in parts of eastern Montgomery County, we have a lot of train lines. There's quarries. I was just talking with the superintendent of the Colonial School District, checking in there to see. You know, he said at first people thought it was the quarry. I at first thought it was maybe a freight train nearby. And then,
right down the middle.
You know, again, we were on the phone. I look
Yikes.
over, my cat stands up. I'm like, nope, this isn't it. And I stood up, and everything in the room was shaking. The lamps. It did sound like there was a train, you know, running underneath.
Isn't it unusual how they're showing the William Penn building standing up on top of the Mount Olives 2 years ago? I said April 4th. Today's April 5th. Today was the first time 15 years ago that I called my wife on the phone. So it was the first contact that I had with my wife about 15 years ago today.
Beneath the house. I was on the second floor of our home. We checked our security cameras. I did send in some video. It is very difficult to see, but you can see almost the wind's picking up, the bushes moving. And then when you look at that video, if we have it, if not, we'll show it to you later. You can see the ground kind of shift back and forth. Again, it's not the best video, but you can see the grass there. Things kind of shift back and
One of
forth.
my lottery numbers.
You know, one thing to keep in mind, obviously, in the moment, what's going on, and then you're concerned, and then you think, oh my gosh, this is an emergency, call 911. Well, Montgomery County and many of the other surrounding counties, their emergency dispatch centers and departments of public safety asking you, please keep those phone lines clear right now.
And then, speaking of counties, I live in Bucks County, Warrington.
But a lot of people are inside or at work, not home at this hour. So waited a little bit, started making phone calls. I called my mom. She's up in Warrington. I called her, and she said, hello, good morning. And I said, did you feel that? And she goes, was that? Waited a little bit, started making phone calls. I called my mom. She's up in Warrington. And I called her, and she started making phone calls. I called my mom.
She lives where Robin lives.
Warrington. And I called her, and she said, hello, good morning. And I said, did you feel that? And she goes, was that what that was? So,
that's for sure. But, you know, between that and Solar Eclipse on Monday, you know, what could happen next? So, you know, between that and Solar Eclipse on Monday, you know, what could happen next? So.
It's not going to hit on Saturday. By the time Monday comes around, I believe you're going to see something like this. Or you'll see right? Man, that's going to be crazy to see that in my bank account. Well, it won't be exactly that much, but the fact that when you win it, it becomes that much. So that's on Monday.
To do if I hit the lottery or if Robin hits the lottery, because I know he's going to help me out.
$44 million check.
Along with.
But that was before I went into the
him or I winning.
And realized
there will be a lot of people that get touched with.
Let's see.
With the loot.
Let's do the math.
There will be no greed.
On one song
it would be doing a whole lot of people a whole lot of help. Because if anybody deserves that lottery money, it's me or Robin. Both of us deserve it. And then the people that we want to help also deserve. Whoever we help has earned the help. So it's not just him and me. it's all the people connected that will be helped
$44 million check.
along with
But that was before I went into the article.
him or I winning.
And realized I've had on my screen
Jonathan.
Museum the first time. His birthday last year.
Jonathan.
Museum the first time. One of the first things I've had on my screen was the year.
Please,
1222222.
or whoever, please direct those numbers to Robin or... I have a damn good feeling that myself or Robin is going... Probably Robin. Robin's got a better chance than me, but if I win the lottery, Robin wins the lottery as well. But I think...
Yep. Same here. Vice versa.
I think Robin will hit it instead of me, but we'll see.
Easily now. All I gotta do is have faith and believe that things are gonna happen, and they keep happening. So what I was saying was the beginning. 1.23 billion.
Only 0.21 left.
Powerball. So when I think it's going to go to 1.44. It has to, because it won't hit this Saturday. It ain't going to hit, but it's going to hit on the solar eclipse.
And what was that? And then just kind of talked to everybody, and that was we all stayed calm. And
were you shocked? I mean, to hear that you felt that kind of earthquake?
Yeah, I mean, what's this, the second time there was an earthquake in this area? So, certainly was a shock. No, I wasn't expecting it, that's for sure. But, between that and Solar Eclipse on Monday, what could happen next?
Seals of Revelation. In this
Chapter
video,
6.
I'll answer that question from a biblical perspective. Then
Now I
afterwards,
saw
as
when the
always,
Lamb
I'll share some
opened one
helpful
of the
resources.
seals.
So stick around until
And
the
I
end.
heard one of the four living creatures
the
saying with a
events are all
voice like
set up.
thunder,
All you need,
"Come and see."
the missing piece,
October
like
3rd.
I keep telling
And
you.
I looked, and behold, a white
Today
horse.
is October 6, 2023.
He who sat on it had a bow, and a crown was given to him.
Like Johnson
And he went out
mentioned
conquering and
it's
to
just
conquer.
they need a Messiah. Now, how many
When he opened
are
the
longing
second
for a
seal,
Messiah right now?
I heard the second living creature
Why
saying,
is it so many
"Come and
people
see."
are now into voting more than ever before?
Another horse,
Is
fiery
go through
red,
the
went
6
out.
seals of Revelation,
And
which
it was
I did
granted to the one who
before
sat
as
on
well,
it to
but I'm
take
going to
peace
expound
from
it
the
further
earth,
now through,
and that people should
history.
kill one
So
another.
I'm going to read some.
And there was given to
I'm going
him
to
a
read an
great
article
sword.
showing the history of 20th and 21st century.
When he
And I
opened
want
the
you
third seal,
to take these events
I heard
in
the
our
third
20th
living
to
creature
21st century
say,
history,
"Come
and
and
then
see."
how it can match with 6
So I
seals.
looked, and behold,
That's how close we
a
are,
black
see.
horse.
So,
And
in the
he who sat on it
tribulation, there
had a
are
pair
6
of scales in his hand.
And then,
And I
let's
heard
see
a
right
voice
here.
in the midst of the four living creatures saying,
In the 6
"A quart
seals
of wheat for a
of,
denarius,
Revelation,
and 3 quarts of barley for a denarius.
All right, here we go.
And do not harm the oil and the wine."
Each seal will pretty much
When
show
he opened
you
the fourth
how
seal,
we can match
I heard the
up
voice of the
to
fourth living
21st
creature saying,
century. How
"Come and
we
see."
can match
So I looked,
up
and behold,
to
a
the
pale horse.
21st century.
And the name of him who sat on it was Death, and Hades followed with him. And power was given to them over a fourth of the earth, to kill with sword, with hunger, with death,
up
and
to
by the beasts of the
21st
earth.
century. How we can match
When he opened the fifth seal,
up
I saw under the
to
altar
the
the souls
21st
of those who had been
century.
slain for the word of God and for the testimony which they held. And they cried with a loud voice, saying, "How long, O Lord, holy and true, until you judge and avenge our blood on those who dwell on the earth. Then a white robe was given to each of them, and it was said to them that they should rest a little while longer, until both the number of their fellow servants and their brethren, who would be killed as they were, was completed.
Choose one.
I looked when he opened the sixth seal, and behold, there was a great earthquake.
Match up. If you choose one archway or one basket, or the right archway.
What can happen next? Thank you so much, Mark. Well, yeah.
The purple
just kind of
pyramid
talked to everybody,
shaped TVs,
and that was
the purple
yeah, we all stayed calm.
pyramids, literally.
Were you shocked? I mean, to hear that
in the
you
background.
felt
And
that
the sun became black as sackcloth of hair.
There's an earthquake in this area, so certainly was a shock. I wasn't expecting it, that's for sure. But between that and Solar Eclipse
and their brethren, who would be killed as they were, was completed.
But between that
I looked when he opened the sixth seal, and behold, there was a great earthquake, and the sun became black as sackcloth of hair, and the moon became like blood, and the stars of heaven fell to the earth,
and there's no
as
video.
a fig tree drops its late figs when it is shaken by a mighty wind. Then the sky receded as a scroll when it is
So
rolled
now
up,
I turned my volume
and every
off. That
mountain
way
and
it's safe.
island was moved out of its place. And the kings
You
of
got
the earth,
spinning red,
the great men,
blue,
the rich men,
TV colors.
the commanders,
This is
the
going in
mighty
this
men,
direction.
every slave and every free man
So this is a past.
hid themselves in the
past
caves and in the rocks of the mountains, and said to the
at
mountains and
3:38
rocks,
PM on
fall on us, and hide us from the face of him who sits on the throne,
one day
and
after
from the
Skull
wrath
and
of the
Bones,
Lamb.
when I was talking to
For the
Jacob
great
Israel
day of his wrath
out
has
front of
come,
the art museum, going into it,
and who is
getting
able
ready
to stand?
Get the ticket to buy it online. This was on April 2nd, 2023, last year. My 6th year. My 7th year just passed. And 3 days later, an earthquake happened in Philadelphia. And now he's jamming out red wine that punctures the skin. Just a warning shot. A heads up. Because he's getting ready to rock out. He's not. You don't hear a guitar just yet. But you don't see one TV lit up yet because these TVs are still lining up with the future video. One TV. Tap, tap. Guitar sound over there. Probably. Now I'm going to turn that TV on. Turn it on with your finger. And then the drum beat is going to go. And then I
you felt that kind of earthquake?
Yeah, I mean, what's this, the second time there was an earthquake in this area, so certainly was a shock. I wasn't expecting it, that's for sure. But between that and Solar Eclipse on Monday, what could happen next? So.
Exactly, what can happen next? Thank you so much, Mark.
No problem.
Well, yeah, we're I've been talking to people
My
here.
faith
Some,
tells me.
like I told you, have felt it. Some others have not. So we will be just monitoring the streets here just to get people's reactions and just to see what.
I'm going to hit the lottery. $1.44 billion. That's what it's telling me. It's telling me that, just like it told me that my footage was going to line up in the art museum. YouTube's video on 2/17/2024, and then it did 4 different videos. And then my fate told me that I was going to now, for the first time, pick every single song that I wanted to play in line, and it's going to line up. And it did. So what's next? Besides making all that spiritual confirmation into a physical, literal confirmation. Meaning, I'm hearing God clearly. So my faith is telling me that. Today's April 5th, 2024. It's 4:06 p.m. So here's the theme that I'm sensing. An earthquake happens first. The the spiritual earthquake going into that building over there and having 33 songs line up with my footage within a year's period of time exactly from 3:30 till 3:30, 1 year, 21 artists. An earthquake happens first. I'm pointing 2 years beforehand. I said April 4th, but then I said May 4th, but today is April 5th. I heard something, but I didn't feel the ground shake. So the theme is earthquake happens first before the great and terrible day. And then the sun becomes black. So here comes the solar eclipse on Monday. I don't believe anybody's going to hit the lottery on Saturday. So that right now it's at $1.23 billion. So I believe it's going to go up to 1.44 billion after Saturday. And then Monday is the day that it hits. So now I saw when the Lamb opened one of the seals, and I heard one of the four creatures say with a loud voice like thunder, "Come and see." And I looked, and behold, a white horse. He who sat on it had a bow, and a crown was given to him, and he went out conquering and to conquer. Second seal, conflict on earth. When he opened the second seal, I heard the second living creature say, "Come and see." Another horse, fiery red, went out, and it was granted to the one who sat on it to take peace from the earth, and that people should kill one another, and that there was given to him a great sword. That reminds me of Stephen James, the Sean, the devil. The third seal, but then he could just be acting like the devil. Scarcity on earth. When he opened third seal, I heard the third living creature say, "Come and see." So I looked, and behold, a black horse, like where I live, Warrington, and he who sat on it had a pair of scales in his hand. And I heard a voice in the midst of the four creatures saying, "A quart of wheat for a denarius," because Darius takes over at the age of 62. And I believe John the Click, according to the script, is 62 years old as of March 16th this year. And 3 quarts of barley for a denarius, so 3, like the Powerball number. And do not harm the oil and the wine. Fourth seal, widespread death on earth. When he opened the fourth seal, I heard the voice of the fourth living creature say, "Come and see." So I looked, and behold, a pale horse. And the name of him who sat on it was Christopher Green. Death and Hades followed with him, because if you feed into the Bitcoin, you're going to get bit. And the power was given to them over the fourth of the earth to kill with sword, hunger, death, and by the beast of the earth. So when you're starving for the word of God, you're not going to hear it from over on that old Christopher's channel. Fifth seal, the cry of the martyrs. When he had opened the fifth seal, I saw under the altar the souls of those who had been slain for the word of God and for the testimony which they held. Remember when Stephen James said, "I'm going to be slain," right? And they cried with a loud voice, saying, "How long, O Lord, holy and true, until you judge and avenge our blood on those who dwell on the earth?" Then a white robe was given to each of them, and it was said to them that they should rest a little while longer, until both the number of their fellow servants and their brethren who would be killed as they were was completed. Sixth seal, cosmic disturbances. I will own Cosmic Cafe soon after I hit the lottery. Cosmic Cafe, this place right here. This is where in the future, all 21 bands, I don't even know if they're together or not. They come right here. See that? I don't know if you can hear the music, but anyway. So there will be cosmic disturbances. And look, when he opened the sixth seal, behold, there was a great earthquake.
Is now operating normally. Once again, that is from Heather Redfern at Philadelphia International. So
He who has an ear, let him hear what the Spirit says to the churches. And to the angel of the church in Philadelphia write, These things says he who is holy, he who is true, he who has the key of David, he who opens and no one shuts, and shuts and no one opens. I know your works. See, I have set before you an open door, and no one can shut it. For you have a little strength, have kept my word, and have not denied my name. Indeed, I will make those of the synagogue of Satan, who say they are Jews and are not, but lie. Indeed, I will make them come and worship before your feet, and to know that I have loved you. Because you have kept my command to persevere, I also will keep you from the hour of trial, which shall come upon the whole world, to test those who dwell on the earth. Behold, I am coming quickly. Hold fast what you have, that no one may take your crown. And to the angel of the church in Philadelphia write, These things says he who is holy, he who is true, he who has the key of David, he who opens and no one shuts, and shuts and no one opens.
Semisonic.
I know your works. See, I have set before you an open door, and no one can shut it.
An earthquake.
For you have a little strength,
Right down the middle.
have kept my word, and have not denied my name. Indeed, I will make those of the synagogue of Satan, who say they are Jews and are not, but lie. Indeed, I will make them come and worship before your feet, and to know that I have loved you.
So I looked when he'd opened the sixth seal, and behold, there was a great earthquake. It's not such a great one in Philly, but spiritually it was. And just to give a heads up, a little shaking happening here in Philly. And then and the sun became black as sackcloth of hair. So first it's the earthquake in spirit, and then a little, just a little nudge earthquake here in Philly. And then on April 8th, the sun became black as sackcloth of hair, and the moon became like blood.
The Lord has given me a spirit of prophecy and a spirit of knowledge and wisdom that is beyond anything I've ever seen. And I've looked for other people that can show this kind of stuff, and they're not out there. I've seen other people that know it. Only one that I can say consistently nails it. So anyway, I just want you to be okay.
And the stars of heaven fell to the earth like the stars. Who are the stars besides rock stars? 21 of them fell to the earth as a fig tree drops its late figs when it is shaken by a mighty wind. Then The sky receded as a scroll when it was rolled up, and every mountain and island was moved out of its place. So that reminded me of when I was in room 100 with Bono, flipping them upside down, and then my screen went black as sackcloth, and the scroll, and it rolled up like a scroll. And the rich men and the commanders and the mighty men, every slave, every free man, hid themselves in the caves and the rocks of the mountains, and said to the mountains and rocks, fall on us and hide us from the face of him who sits on the throne, and from the wrath of the Lamb. The great day of his wrath has come, and who is able to stand?